Alright, that looks like it'll work.
Electrical wiring, part 6, and it is raining. So I had to put the door panel back in here, but I didn't want it to get all rained up, because it's actually in pretty good condition. Now, I came out here today, I was looking at it going, you know what? I never actually checked it if the circuit that I assumed was headlights are actually headlights. Because I got this wire down into here, right here.
Let's see. Yeah, you can actually see that kind of right here.
That, the best I could tell, went through the headlight circuit, and that's part of the headlight. Where it goes from here, I don't know. I can't get down to the headlight switch on the floor, because I'd have to wedge my head between a gap about that wide between the frame and the cab, bottom of the cab, and well, I can't quite do that. And for those of you that think, well, just check the turn signal switch. You got right turn signal, left turn signal, but on these old vehicles with that style of turn signal switch, they don't have high beam. You can't click the switch arm towards you. It's either up for right, down for left, or you pull it out underneath for 4 ways. And then you have to move the switch up or down, the switch lever up or down to go to regular to turn it off and go back to regular function. So I was thinking, you know what? Let me check my assumptions here and make sure that this wire over here actually is headlight circuit. Because you see, don't have the batteries connected right now. I got this. And I assumed it was, where did they go? Repair? Yep, right here, okay. Not that one. It's okay, cool. I got continuity between this wire and here, which is exactly what I figured. And now in checking continuity, it doesn't really matter which probe you're using unless you got one-way diodes. Nope. But and look at that. So this wire connects to this plug. Switch them. Easier. Connects to both. Yep. So this goes both from power to here, down this. I don't even need to have the switch on. This is the one that probably goes out the headlight then. But I don't know where this one goes. I followed it, but back in there, it went into a bundle of 4 wires, and it came out again and went back in. They're all about the same size. Or, yeah, 4 wires. Except one of the wires is a lot smaller, so I know that one wasn't one of these. It wasn't, this. There it is. I knew that one wasn't this one. But I didn't know which one of those 3 plugged in where, because I go off to 3 different places. 3 wires connect to some kind of switch relay. And then the 4th wire that's in the same area, that connects to the lower one. Which is probably a whole different circuit. So I know they come in, but I go out, but I don't know what's where. I really need a wiring diagram to see what all that stuff is supposed to be and where these wires are supposed to go. Because I did a dumb, and I made an assumption that I know this is number 1, but it doesn't really matter where I plug in the headlights at. I could plug it into any of them. Either does the breakers. But I'm gonna use it properly and use headlights for number 1. But I'm only assuming that this is the wiring for headlights. Maybe it's this one. Maybe it's, well, that one's cut. Yeah, freaking cut wires everywhere. Maybe it was that red one we found right here. Because remember, this goes all the way out to the front of the fender. Maybe this is the headlight circuit. Maybe it's just supposed to plug right in, although that wouldn't make any sense. Maybe this is supposed to come down here into the switch, and then this one goes out to the headlights, and then the other one is for high beams? I don't know. So, I wanted to get that checked out real quick, and make sure that this was indeed part of the headlight circuit, and the best I can tell, this is indeed the headlight circuit. Well, we're getting water in here on that side. I'm going to shut that door. Oh, boy. Doors actually close quite nicely in here. And for as much raining on as I'm getting right now, it's actually significantly less rain than I would get anywhere else, because I'm under about an oak tree, 2 pine trees, and there's another tree, I think, behind. No, there's no other trees behind me, but I'm like in a little copse, mini copse here, and there's a whole bunch of trees overhead, and they're all spreading over. So, yeah, they do drop branches on them, and all of my trucks have been attacked by trees. Like the day I got the first day I was here, and I had my truck parked here, I come out and there's this big branch that fell, and there's a scuff on the hood from where it attacked the truck. Like, okay then. So, but so far we've been pretty good with this one. Anyway, so I wanted to see if this was indeed the headlight circuit, and it is. It seems, best as I can tell, this is indeed the headlight circuit. So I should be good, just fine with that there. And we know we got turn signals. They're already functioning all the way up there, so we're good there. And these two, remember, got that zip tie plugged in. Look at that. Even if I lose the bundle, it's like, wow, where's the bundle of wires I was working with? Right here. Oh, okay. And right here. Oh, okay. See, right there. These, that's the headlight one I was working with. Okay. So these two wires go into this bundle, which then goes through the firewall all the way up to the front of the fender. But if you remember from previous video, the wiring harness that goes from the front of the fender, it comes up into the front of the cab, and where it comes up right next to the harness where a bunch of other wires get bundled into it before coming back out at the top. And the one with the 6 wires, I believe it was, doesn't seem to merge with it, just runs side by side. But it's entirely possible that maybe a wire that goes from one to the other and back and forth. I don't know. I'd have to cut it all apart up there. But I wanted to get this apart and out of all that. So there could be wires that come and go without me knowing. It's entirely possible and most likely. Oh, wait a minute. Was that? Okay, that is that one. So what I'm going to do is, like I mentioned before, I'm not going to try to let these tell me where everything where it's going, because I can plug these in anywhere. What I want to know is what's out there, because it's highly unlikely that those wires at the end of the fender are not factory. Most likely they are, because they're inside that factory wiring harness with the mesh that wove around it, and it's not likely that someone changed it all, because they would have had to do a lot of work to slide the wire out of there and put a new one in. So most likely it's normal. I'm going to go out there with my jump wire. Remember the jump wire we used? Yeah? Just that bit of black wire. I'm going to go out there, and I am going to, there we go, put this end on the end of those wires. I'm going to wrap around, just a quick tie them together. And that way that can be way out there. And I have my near end, the other end, I can jam my probe into and say, okay, checking the continuity, grounding probe is in there, goes all the way through, and I can tap through all these connections and find out where they connect to. If I do that, hey, I can figure out what my lights go to. Because one of those is headlights. There is nothing else up there. One of those is headlights. We got the turn signals, we got the other lights, and I'm guessing those other two, like these two right here, are for bumper lights, because a lot of these trucks had 2 lights mounted in the bumpers. So most likely these are bumper lights. So they got a whole different setup down there for plugs. They don't have the eyelets that are screwed into the junction box, they just got the barrel plugs. So I am going to stick this right here into the wiring out there. I probably should have done that beforehand, but I forgot about the phone, trying to get the phone positioned nicely for a good view on everything. Yep. And so, alright, I'm going to hop out there real quick. If you can give me a moment. Alright. Okay, there we go. That's that quick. All I did, it had the wire spliced open previously, and I just wrapped them around each other. Just did a quick, that's it. Not making a permanent connection. Where'd my wire go? Sitting on it, standing on it. Definitely not ideal for working conditions, but that's what happens. Alright, now, I have the wire, what I believe should be the headlights. Looking at how the connections were under there and everything. Remember, just kind of jam it in there, like we've been doing. Alright, set that aside. Don't need to worry about that. And can you see that? Yes, you can. You can see it nicely. Alright, that is great. So let's now check what we believe. It's highly unlikely that this is continuity here. No continuity. No continuity. That is expected. How about this one? No continuity. How about these cut wires? Highly doubtful. No continuity. And yep. Nothing. So yeah, this is the tedium work again. I don't need to check this because these two are the same wire. These are the ones I had this little bit of tape right here. They just stripped the insulation of it and had it clamped underneath the nut. I don't know why. I'll have to find out that later. So I don't need to worry about this. Oh, here's another plastic clip. No continuity. Try either of these. Nothing. Nothing. Okay. That was... Well, there goes that theory. Those aren't headlights. Unless I got the wrong wire out there. And it's not those. Here's another two wires. Limit. Out of limit. But no, I don't even need to check these separately. These are joined together. That's right. So it's not these. That is not headlight. I just don't know why I checked that again. See a little wiggle wiggle. Not headlights. So none of this up here seems to be headlights. Everything up here is checked. Yep. Oh, I got a couple more to check. I got a few more to check. Check out these. Alright. These two here. You can still see that? Nothing. Nothing, and I highly doubt it's one of these. Nothing at all. So I'm going to move these under that airline because they're annoying to be above it. Everything else is above it, but whatever. Alright. So, nothing up here goes directly to the headlights. Not too surprised, but kind of wish it would have. So maybe I got all these cut and disconnected wires over here. There's a nice bigger one. Oh, that's not it. Let's try this green one. That's not it. Can you see this spot right here? Let me check. Yeah, you actually can. Nice. So it's not the green one, it's just the white one. The one I said the tedious work. Nope. Not that one. Nope. Not that one. Over here. Didn't grab all the wires, did I? Let me see. I got this cap. This one with a blade on it. Nope, nothing there. It's not the one with the lights. Unless it's high beam. Hadn't thought about that. Maybe. No, not that one. Maybe these are tied in with high beam. And these they come on with high beam, of course. Or do they? I don't know if this even has a high beam indicator. Should. Nope. Check this one. Nope. So it's not that. Unlikely. Not that. But some of these wires, I've already checked one of them. We have this plug here. Round plug. Nothing. Another round plug. Nothing. Oh, these wires over here, I didn't unplug any of this. This is the stuff that I had found already unplugged and cut. Nothing. Nothing. Oh, big blue wire. Nothing at all. Alright then. Well. I got a wire. I got that's oil pressure. I don't need to worry about that. Here's a wire that's not plugged into anything. Nope, out of limit. And these four absolutely atrociously nasty wires that are coming apart and deteriorating and disgusting. These go straight through the firewall anyway. Alright, so I have checked every wire I have available up here. None of them go to the fender. At least for this wire, only connected it to one of them out there. So that is very, very sucky, actually. Oh, we got these two. Check for these two. Yes, yes, yes. It does that because it thinks it has just been left on. There we go. That's one of the few advantages. That's one advantage of a test light over a meter, is that a test light doesn't have any battery. You can just sit them around forever and just grab them whenever you need them. Toss, tap, tap, tap. See what it does, and then just toss them back in the box again. Never need to worry about it. But meters, not so much. There we go. We'll pull these out of here like that. Above, not just airline. So, kind of sucks that does not connect to anything up here that is exposed. Oh, wait, did I? Oh, fine. Let me check this. I don't remember if I checked this one. Here. Cool. Okay. Doesn't matter if I checked it or not. It's not connected to it. So, alright then. That wire I have it connected to out there is not connected to anything up here. I am going to switch it to the next wire. So there were 3 of them that I don't know. Well, 4 of them that I don't know where they go with. 3 of them on the big harness, and then 1 for the 2 that connect to this one. I'm going to go to the next one on the big harness. Give me 1 moment, please. Oh, God, wire. God dang it. Alright, I had it plugged into a blue wire up front. Now I'm connected to the ground. Yes. Thank you. Should still do that. I turned it off. Remember that process we just did? Gotta do it all over again. Now, alternatively, I could have tied all the mystery wires together down there and just hooked them all this, because I'm not running, the battery's not connected, it wouldn't hurt anything. And that way I would have only had to go through the whole sequence of checking everything, technically only once. I then would have been able to find out wherever it's connected to, because as soon as I see, power that it has continuity, I set the wire off to the side, the connection off to the side, this one or whatever, and that way, then I can break it down to only 1 wire's connected, check what I had continuity, go, okay, it's none of those, or it's that one, check it again, check it again. But I didn't do that. So, alright, let's check this one. Nothing. This is the brown wire up front. Sorry for blocking your view. I can't really sit in front of the passenger seat, or sit between them, because that's... There we go, where I got my door card there. This one, nope. Oh, wait, check headlight wire here. Nothing, and just to be sure, yep, nothing there. Okay. 2 black ones. There we go, nothing. And we do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Nothing. Nothing. Green one, nothing. Oh! What? Hey! Which one is this? This is the one that's crimped down with another wire. So obviously the other connection over here as well. There we go. This is the brown wire down there. So Let me get some tape. Wonderful wife was out today helping kids do some school shopping, and she picked me up a roll of masking tape. So that might have been a bit long, actually. That's okay. Yeah, that was a bit long. Alright, come on now. There we go. Alright. There we go. So, didn't need that much tape. As far as the wife, she is out with her mother. Nothing bad. It's not like, I'm gonna go visit my mother. No, nothing like that. She's there, like, every weekend. They have a very close relationship. Alright. A. Mark the wire A. Marking it a fender. Brown. Oh, just long enough. Alright, cool. Alright. Now, I know where this goes. I know what it connects to. That's awesome. That means we can put power down this wire and get something out there. I could either substitute it for headlights and have headlights, or marker lights, because headlights, they kind of draw a lot of power, so I want to make sure I got that one correct. So this is A, and when I go out there after it stops raining, I'm going to mark that wire and at the end of the fender as A fender, or I don't need to mark A fender brown, just mark it as A. And it comes up here. It'll just have an A on it, because this says A fender brown. Alright. Now let's keep checking, just in case there is a short to power or short to ground. Definitely not a short to ground. Remember, we checked that already. We put a good ground on it, and we checked every single one of those wires out there to see if any of them would ground out, and none of them did. So we know we don't have a short to ground. Oh, that's right. I got like 3 more wires in here connected to nothing. Oh, no. That ain't gonna be these. These go through the firewall directly. I don't know what they go to, but not to me. Alright, well, let's check all of this. Nothing there. I'm not going to check all the lights. That's just tedium. More tedium than I want to deal with at this time. There we go. Pull that. That one. This eyelet right in front of me, right here, is just connected back into here and goes nowhere. The GNDN. GNDN, by the way, is a Star Trek reference. I believe it came from the Next Generation. It was the ducts and the Jeffries tubes that went around GNDN. GNDN is an acronym. It means goes nowhere, does nothing. So, these wires that go nowhere and do nothing, they're GNDNs. That one. Alright, yep. The tedium begins again. Oh, it never stopped. It never stopped. I can't remember if I mentioned or not, but the reason why I went straight to disconnect and pull everything and, don't worry about it, is because that's pretty much how I've had to deal with all my other vehicles. And if I knew how much money I had available, and more, not so much the time, but if I knew I had the money available, that's exactly what I'd be doing. I wouldn't be messing with all this. I'd just be pulling every last wire out of here, pulling it all out, every bit of it, and then rerunning it as I found out what they go, as I, getting the diagram, and then rerunning it back in as I go. So, okay. No short to anything else. The brown wire is exclusively right here. The blue wire at the end of the fender doesn't connect to anything. The brown wire connects to this. I have one more wire. I think it's yellow, and it had a blade connection. A blade type connection. So that'll be the last one. So if you shall excuse me one more time. Oh, here we go. All right. Okay. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. Don't want to tear that up. I was surprised at how good these door cards were. Or these door cards are. And that'll be a nice thing. That's something I'm really looking forward to with this truck, is I actually have more legroom in this truck than I do in my other trucks. FLD and FLC, a very early FLD and very late FLC, they basically have the same design. The issue with them is that they have the little hump in the middle and a recessed floor, and also the console comes out like this, just about, even with the dashboard, in the middle of it, and your feet are up here, so you can't really put your foot off to the side. You have, this is where you get, and it's very small space. It's ridiculous on how little space you have. I don't know if you can even see that, I keep forgetting. But it's very little space. You got like your foot are here, and that's it. You can't put your foot off to the side, to either side really. You got this, and that's it. With this one, it's clear all the way across. I can put my foot anywhere over there. It has a dashboard, and that's it. There's nothing else. So I can actually let my foot out over this way. Because the stick even goes right and down, so yeah, that's comfortable. That is nice and comfortable. But, back to work. Last wire of the day. Cool. Do the usual. And maybe see why I said the other method of just connecting them all together and then doing them all only one go and then just backing up and finding out which one goes where. All right. No. That's the big thing. I want headlights. That's the important one. They draw the most power, by the way. Headlights draw a decent power. If I can find what is connected to power, that'll be most ideal. But I don't know the condition of the high beam switch. I don't know how it's routed, and it's just good grief. And just in case. Nope. Okay, good. As much as I would have liked that to be together, it should not be together. So good. They are not together. Right here. Nothing. Nothing. Alright. All these crazy wires. Nothing. This long one. Nothing. Next. Nothing. Next. Nothing. Next. Yep. So if you're working on a project of your own, if you don't need to keep the wiring, like if you just want a practical, good, reliable vehicle, I would highly recommend just, if you're having electrical gremlins, just get rid of it, redo it, just call it done. Don't try to fight it, and don't try to test it, and just place it. Okay. Last few wires here, which are highly unlikely, the one that comes through the firewall. Nothing. Alright. That wire does not provide continuity anywhere. Did I miss any wires that I know of? Not that I am aware of or know of, so cool. There we go. we have now determined we have a, probably not headlight, it might be. Next challenge is, oh, going off left is obvious. That goes off to the left. That's right, I chased that down. I was looking at this one earlier. Now this is something. You can't see my left hand, but I got, just like pinch it right here, and I'm pulling on it, and I have it pinched on my left hand the same way. Just got two wires, you know, pinching it like this. And I can't see, but I'm, basically it's like you're flossing in your teeth. I'm doing this, back and forth. And that's how I know I have the exact correct wire. Nothing else moving, just that one. So it's time to chase this wire down to the left, to the right. Again, operating blindly, because I have to just feel underneath. Ooh, hello. Does it just go right back up into this? Say what now? Check it out. Okay, okay. This. Oh, there's another twisted and damaged wire. Alright. This, my friends, goes to the dimmer. Goes into the dimmer. I bet that this is the supply line for the dimmer. So when you turn on the lights, okay, that's really good. Dimmer supply? Question mark. Let me get this written down because I want to focus my thoughts. Dimmer supply. Question mark? Dimmer supply? Okay. Stuff about wiring here. Modern vehicles are different in that everything goes to the computer. You have basically no control over, well, anything at all. When you even on some modern cars, especially electric ones, battery electrics rather, when you turn the steering wheel, when you're hitting the brakes, well, I don't know about the brakes, but when you turn the steering wheel, when you turn the key on, or hit the button, or use any control whatsoever, you're doing nothing. Nothing is happening, because everything goes into the computer. The computer translates, does whatever the computer will do on that car, and sends the controls back out, read the sensors, all that stuff. The operator controls nothing. And as terrible as that sounds, aircraft, especially major commercial aircraft, have been that way for decades. So it can be a reliable system. But cars don't really have to be super reliable, because if they stall out or die or fail while you're on the road, you just kind of drift off to the side and shut it off. Pardon me. Now, this obviously does not do that. The most advanced computer in this truck right now is the phone, followed by the meter, and then the cassette deck down here. That's the most advanced thing in here. Everything else is physical wiring and switches. When you turn on your headlights, your dashboard lights come on. Okay? When you turn on your markers, the parking lights, your dashboard lights come on. Depending on the vehicle. Some do, some don't. My personal preference is that your dashboard lights should never come on until all your lights are on. Especially on modern vehicles, if you turn on your dashboard lights to see what your gauges are, your mileage or whatever, it should be on a time delay where they blink off after a minute. Or like 2-3 minutes maybe. The reason why, it would help to eliminate people driving around with their parking lights on or just their running lights and nothing else, because, well, they think the lights are on because the dashboard is on. But no, your lights are not on, people. So, with this going both out to the fender, because we know for a fact that this wire goes to the fender, because we just did it. We just did a continuity test. So this goes out to the fender. This goes out to exterior lights, and because it's got this crimp on right here, it goes right back around to this, and that is the dimmer, if you can see it moving. And then it comes back out here, which I gotta have to fix that wire. And this goes out to all these little dimmers and everything. This goes out to a whole lot of places. This is a web right here, that wire. And I know that this is the input for it because there are no other wires that plug in here. There's not even a spot for anything else to plug in. This can't be the output because if the wire came in here, went through the dimmer and back out, and that means that this wire would get dimmed if it was the only supply. Which means you'd be able to run your exterior lights on a dimmer. No, that don't happen. Well, actually, it probably wouldn't even be working that way. Because this goes to like the parking light switch. So when you turn your parking lights on, this goes on. This would also connect to your headlight switch. So when you turn your headlights on, this gets power and whoop, sends power down to your lights. It also sends power, so that way, regardless of whether you're running your parking lights or your headlights, they both turn on your marker lights, your parking lights, and your dimmer. This is really good. This is a great find. I'm glad this circuit was intact. That's a great find. You know what I didn't check? I didn't check these couple other plugs. There's a couple other wires that are plugged. This brown one's plugged in. That one's plugged in. I just realized that. There are 3 more that are plugged in. So anyway, maybe one of those is the other light we need. Whatever, I'll do that later. So this wire coming from here has to be the supply. This has to be a supply line for here. Goes out. This is the outbound. So this helps tell me a lot. When I flip this panel back up, or when I just get underneath it and start looking at the labels, if I can see which one says headlights and parking lights, marker lights, if I can see any of them that are written up, that means I can arrange these switches and put them where I need to be, and I know what kind of switches, because like this switch only has 3 prongs, this switch feels like 2 prong. Nope, this switch only has 2 prongs, but one of them is double. This one's only got 2, and they're both singles. This one is 2 prong. This one, 2 prong. Yep, this one is a 3 position, but spring loaded. So a down is normal, middle is on, and up is spring load, let go. So it could be that this is actually clearance light, this one on the right. And then because you push it down, everything is off. You turn it on, your clearance lights are on. You flip it up, and your clearance lights blink off, interrupt. You drivers know exactly what that's for. For those of you that aren't drivers, that's a thing like when you're driving along at night and you flick your lights at a driver, and we get over to let us know, hey, the way is clear. You can come over now. We can just flick that switch and to blink our lights off. That works good at night. Daytime, you flick your high beams. So for everyone else, you just, with your high beams on your left hand over here on the left side of the steering wheel. For me, I'd have to click my foot. Don't blink your high beams at people at night. Because if we happen to be looking in the mirror and you flick your high beams, it sucks. Don't do that. Flick your lights off and on real quick. So, that is good. There's no, and right here, if you can see that, there is no, there's no label there. The wire's even been cut and there's just nothing there. So cool. So this is good. This has actually been productive. So the next thing I'm going to need to do is get under here, look at where these labels are, and I need to start testing all these switches to see what kind of, most of them are just 2 ways, on, off, and that's real simple. And find out what switches are where, how they're set up, what their routing is internally. Because this one on the far left is a 3-way switch, but it's not spring-loaded, and it has multiple prongs coming off. It looks like 5. Yep, you can see how it's supposed to go. And then, I won't have headlights, but I'll have basically everything else. I have my turn signals, those are working. I have the bumper lights, which are no longer there. I have what'll be my running lights. I'll need to figure out the clearance lights and headlights. So only 2 more lights. Then I got to work on the back end. But I'm not going to work on those today because it is raining. Instead, I'm going to cut the video here and figure out the switches, because I showed you how to figure out the switch. You take the switch off, put the prong on there, and you switch them with and checking the continuity. So I'm going to cut the video here. I'm going to check the switches, see where I want, and check the label, see where I want it to be while I'm uploading the video. And once the video is uploaded, I have to upload the video first. I can then delete the video off my phone, which will give me room. Then I can install the new parking brake valves. You know, the parking brake valves. Here, air lines here. Yep, down here. Oh, get these out, which will both, get these out of the way and get the air reconnected. And then I should be able to start the truck up and find out where my next set of air leaks are, because I have no doubt there's more. I can hear it coming from the transmission back here. Not right here even, but like behind it. But that's just maybe where the sound comes coming up. Either way. Then I can check for air leaks on the transmission. Find out what I need to do with that. And hopefully it'll build enough air to where I can uncage the brakes and it'll build air pressure